And welcome back. This is Wealth Principle number 5. Wealth Principle number 5, build a business. Hands to the camera if you are new to the Wealth Principles. If you have never been here before, hands to the camera. Excellent, excellent. Not a single one of you, at least the people with your cameras on. Sandra, good to see you. Welcome to the community. Before I get started, I want to remind everybody that we've been traveling through the 52 weeks to wealth for 5 weeks, except last year we did it for the entire 52. So now we're 57 weeks into this. For many of you, you've been journeying through, you've done Wealth Principle 5 with me before, but your business has doubled. Your business has increased. You're at a whole other level now. And so we're doing this Wealth Principle for the second time. And it's an interesting one because Wealth Principle 5 is build a business. Many of you already have a business. Let's go hands to the camera if you have a business. Hands to the camera, show if you have a business. Excellent. Excellent. Smart. Hold them up. Hold them up proud, right? Have a business. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you don't have a business yet. Hands to the camera if you're Ryan McDermott. Won't raise your hand no matter what I say. There it is. Give Ryan McDermott a round of applause. All right. Wealth Principle 5, build a business, comes from a simple principle. Pull out your pens and write this down. There's only 3 ways to get rich. I did a video about this the other day. There's only 3 ways to get rich. One is through stocks, one is through real estate, and one is through business. Now, I don't care who you are or what you think. There is no other way to build wealth without one of those 3 assets: stocks, real estate, or business. And when I say stocks, they're in reference to any digital or paper asset. So thank you, crypto guys. I was talking to you. Yes. Stocks represent any paper or digital assets, because here's the deal with those. All you do is buy them. They go up and they go down. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. Yes. You have no play, no say, no control. So they're digital or paper assets. And then you have real estate, which is a physical asset, which you have some say in, but you can't control the market. And you have a physical, tangible asset that is all across the planet, all across the world. Real estate is everywhere. It's got some strengths, it's got some weaknesses. Then you have business. And this covers all of the other forms of money, including self-employment, including what you're doing every day. Hands to the camera if you work for somebody else. And this is not a moment to brag. It's just saying, hey, yeah, do it. Sure. Yeah, why not? It's okay. You should work for somebody else. In fact, everybody's hand should be up. If you're getting paid and you own a business, you're working for somebody else. Does that make sense? Yes, we do. We work for somebody else. Even us highly independent freedom seekers. I don't want to work for the man. I don't want to work for anybody. Yeah, we still work for somebody. We're constantly like, well, what does our client want? What does our avatar want? Who is that person that we want to go serve? Hands to the camera if you're a millionaire and you've said the word serve like 1,000 times in your life. Like, I got to go serve more people, right? I got to go help more people. Like, why is it that the poorest people on the planet, the people that I know who are broken poor, they never talk about serving. They never talk about helping others. They talk about being help. They talk about getting help, but they don't talk about helping others. I mean, they say, oh, rich people should help more. It seems like even the poor and the rich agree on something. They both agree that they should help more. Hands to the camera if that is that's kind of ironic. I agree. Rich people are always telling me I've got to serve more. I got to help more people, because they know the little secret that the more people you help, the more money you make. So you have to build a business that helps people. That's Wealth Principle number 6. We'll be talking about that next week. Hands to the camera if you know that you'll be here for Wealth Principle number 6 next week. It's a powerful wealth principle. We're going to teach you how to take your business and make a ton of money. This week, I want to talk about how to make your business in general. Your business has to start with one reason, one purpose. It's there to solve a problem. It's there to make you money. The money problem. We're starting with this thing that happens every day to somebody. There's something you want and you can't have. Hands to the camera if you recognized what that was yesterday, what that may be today. There's something you want and you're like, that's not there for some reason. The business is designed to solve your problems. You're the first person whose problem it solves, whatever your problems are. So we're going to do an exercise in a little bit. I want you to write down your problems, the problems you want solved by your business. Because if your business can't solve your problems, there's no point in going out and serving anybody else's. Now, I know that's counterintuitive to a lot of our coaches and a lot of other speakers, but yes, a business has to solve other people's problems. It's the only viability to a business. But if it doesn't solve yours, you're not going to stay in it. You're not going to do it long enough. You're not going to have the motivation. You're not going to stay in that business. So I'm hit with businesses every day. Every day, somebody presents a new way for me to make money. Good problems, right? It's a good problem. Yeah, I agree. I'm blessed. I'm thankful for it. And I also have to remember that the only way to be successful is stay in one business. I had the conversation with Melanie. Melanie's doing some coaching with me. Melanie, Ken, Saeed, and now my brother. And that is the maximum I'm taking, by the way. I'm not taking anybody else on. I love the 4 people I'm working with, and that is it. That is it for the next 6 months. So no more on, but the people I'm working with are fascinating, amazing. And Melanie is a perfect example of business. She told me yesterday, I'm thinking about starting another business. And instantly I was like, oh man, she just needs to be reminded, like, no, don't start another business. We're going to just stay in the boring one, the one that you're good at. Write this down. This is free advice. Write this down. If the business is exciting, if the business is new, if the business is different from what you've been doing, it might not be the right choice. It might not be the right choice. The same rule goes with investments. If it's new, if it's different, if you've never done it before, it might not be the right choice. Now, I know that we're always telling you to get outside of your comfort zone. So like, I will solve this dilemma. I promise. Because I know what we're always teaching is get outside of your comfort zone, try new things, but not different things. I know. Try new things in what you're good at. And what you're good at, that works. Unless, and you only get a few times to do this in life. I'd say every 7 years, you can go and completely pivot, make a full-on change, right? Because it takes 7 to 10 years to master something anyway. So make sure you make these decisions very, very powerfully because they're very important. But once you decide to something, do not leave it. Broke people change their mind all the time. They can't even decide what they want to watch. They're just next. They keep, like, as a show comes on, a commercial comes on, they switch the channel, right? Broke people have no ability to make decisions. The rich, write this down. The rich, the successful, they make decisions quickly and they stick to them forever. They make decisions quickly and they stick to them forever. And the only time a rich person or a successful person will ever make a change to a decision is after they're 100% certain it's no longer in line with their long-term goals. Again, rich and successful people have long-term goals. They're not short-term goals. You've heard me say often, be unrelenting in the goal, but flexible in how you get there. So when I say get out of your comfort zone, what I'm talking about is do bigger deals. That's okay. Do more of what you've done faster. Do more of what you've done faster. Hire other people to do what you've done that you can teach and train. But to start an entire new business means an entire start from fresh, from zero, from not making money for a few months to a few years. But if you stay in what you've already got, you can expand in a big way. We had a call last night. Hands to the camp if you want to know what kind of calls we do every so often with my millionaire friends. All right. So we had a call last night about building $1 billion REIT. And we looked at it and we had a gentleman come on who has been involved in $500 million REIT. So he was the acquisitions person for a $500 million REIT. And, we were talking about the plan that we have. We buy this many this year, this many this year, this many this year. We keep stacking. And before you know it, we got $1 billion. And he looked at it and he's like, that's about how it works. He said, that's about how it works, except it happens faster. Because right now you have this rule of doubling going. And in the beginning, the rule of doubling works. But once you get about 100 million, you can jump to $1 billion in about 2 years. Because money allows you to go faster than double once you get to a certain point. So, but that's in real estate. We're talking about me and our company buying real estate, something we're good at. The asset class may change a little bit, but it's still the same asset. Maybe mobile home parks, maybe multis, it may be singles, whatever it may be in the future. Maybe we're buying space on Mars, right? Maybe we're buying some property on the moon, but the asset class is the same. The principles are the same. The difference between what most people want to do and what this plan is most people will say, okay, I'm going to buy a little bit of real estate, then I'm going to buy a little bit of stocks, I'm going to buy a little bit of crypto, then I'm going to start a business, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to start a business. And none of the businesses have any alignment together. I'm just going to start the businesses because I saw a moment and I was like, I got to get it before somebody else does. Entrepreneurial seizure, right? It looks just like that. I got to get it before somebody else does. It's FOMO, and you got to learn to let it go. Unless your business is an angel investor and you just invest in other people's businesses, that's your one business. That's fine. Right? Then you get to be like Mr. Wonderful, right? You get a little bit of piece of everybody's action.
Not sure he's an angel investor though.
Well, he's like a devil investor, whatever. He'd be okay with that. So who here knows that it's difficult to stay in one thing? It's difficult to stay in one business. Like the mind is like, jump to something new. There's an opportunity here. I got to seize it. I get it. That's why people become coaches, because we can't jump in all the opportunities, but it kind of eases the mind knowing that we got to talk about it and think about it for a little bit, and that person's running it. So if you have the desire to jump into a lot of businesses, you might be a coach. Answer the camera if that relates. If you can sense that might be true. Awesome. Excellent. So we're always looking for more opportunities to inspire people to go out and build 100 millionaires with us. As you know, we're on a mission to build 100 millionaires. The reason I teach and I train is because the easiest way to build a millionaire is to have somebody learn the process. If I just handed you $1 million, would you be a millionaire? Yes, of course you would. But if mentally you weren't a millionaire, you probably lose it pretty quick. Because holding on to $1 million takes being a millionaire. Making $1 million is easy. That's the easy part. Retaining $1 million, it's easy too. But becoming the person who can make and retain, that's the work. Does that make sense? If you haven't made it, you can't retain it. And if it just comes to you, you probably can't retain it either. It would take some serious mental development in a short period of time to make sure that it didn't slip away. Now, I want to remove that fear because that was one of the reasons I didn't make as much early on. Remember, we're in a business to make a lot of money. That is the whole point in a business. Hands to the camera. If you're in a business to make a lot of money, I'll see that hand up. That's a hell yeah. Yes. Hell yeah. You're in this to make a lot of money, not like little money. Not like, oh, okay, I got buy money. Like got buy money's for another call. That's for some other speaker with some other program. If you just want to be comfortable, go find another coach. If you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, hang with us. We're building 100 millionaires, not 100 just get buyers, right? Like the world's full of just get buyers. You know a few of them. Hands to the camera if you know a few of them, and a few people just getting by. And they think it's fine. They went out drinking last night. I'm sure they did. That's all right. God bless them all. You're here bright and early on a Saturday morning to learn how to earn, how to get rich. There's other wealth principles out there that are coming up. You build a business to sell the business. So I want you, when you start this, as you're starting your business or you're thinking about your business or reevaluating your business, or you're thinking about adding another branch to your business, which is okay sometimes, Kim Harvey. I know Kim likes to create new businesses all the time. If the business is 100% symbiotic to what you're doing, cool, add the business. Absolutely. If you can reasonably replace yourself in time. I've been talking about this a lot because it's been a major issue in our own business. Learn it, do it, delegate it, write it down. This is how you build a business properly. This is the right way to build a business quickly and properly. Learn it, do it, delegate it to somebody who does it better than you. You're not looking to teach people how to do it. You're looking to teach people how to do it for you. Teach people how to do it for you instead of for somebody else. Does that make sense? You're just taking on talented people, putting them in a place, saying, hey, look, you're already good there. This is my mission and my vision. Do you believe in it? If they believe in it, they'll work for you better than they work for somebody else. But you want smarter people, more talented people Will you have to pay them more? Of course you will. But I don't believe in building a business that's hourly anymore. I think that hourly businesses are going away. Commission-based is where it's at. Commission-based is scalable. Hands to the camera. If you knew you didn't have to pay somebody until they did the work, would that make it easier to start your business? Yeah. What's the reason we don't hire people? Because they cost money. Stop hiring people who cost money. Start hiring people who bring money, who make money, who earn money, who are worth their time. Does that make sense? Yes. So if you're going to build a business now in 2021, you don't want to build a business that costs money. You want a business that makes money. So strongly evaluate any business that you're building and look at it and say, is this based on hourly or is this based on commission? If it's based on hourly, you don't need to add that to your business unless you're in a situation where you already have a client base. If you already have a massive client base, then it's okay to bring hourly on because you will save money. The irony is that the people who want stability, want that salary, want that stable income, they make way less than what they could make if they were commission-based. So that you do save money. So once your business gets to a certain point, you could bring people in hourly. Does that make sense? But you don't start hourly. You start with vision. You start with passion. You start with commission structures. So now look at the business and say, this business that I want to add. In fact, hands to the camera if you got more than one business. Before we go any further with this. Yes. Which one pays the most? There's obviously one that pays the most, right? Hands to the camera if there's one that pays the most. Yeah. Maybe you should focus on that business first. Can that business scale? Can the business that pays the most scale? Hands to the camera if the business that pays the most, can it scale? Is there more room to grow? Yes. For anybody who believes that it cannot grow, hands to the camera if that business cannot scale. Excellent, excellent. So if your mic isn't on or I can't see you on the camera, then if your business can't scale, that's not a business, that's a job. Just write that down. If you cannot scale, you do not have a business, you have a job. And that's okay. You know, people have those too. That's all right. There's a time and a place to have a job. Scalability is how a business is designed. So business, the reason we want business over some of the other asset classes early on is because real estate takes money. Stocks take money. And I know there's a lot of people out there who said, oh, buy real estate with no money. Real estate investors, your first house, did you buy it with no money? Hands to the camera if you bought your first house with no money. No money. Literally your first property. Okay, VA. Got it. Melanie, did you use no money? What strategy you used that was no money 17 years ago?
Well, I did FHA.
But there was money, right?
No.
No money down?
No.
Oh, this was back in the, this is why the market crashed.
Yeah,
Got it.
this is a long time ago.
All right, well, the options, although the options are available, let's give Melanie a round of applause. And Ron Bowling. So a few people have bought real estate with no money. Look, my first deals, I put money in. Did I learn how to do it with no money? Absolutely. And can you buy stocks with no money? I suppose if mom and dad threw you some money, like there's an option. I suppose you could raise a fund from other people. So you could do it with other people's money. And real estate is absolutely more leverageable to do with other people's money than stocks and sometimes than a business. But when it comes to a business, hands to the camera, Melanie, which one pays you more each month? Is it the business or is it the real estate? It's the business, right? Yeah. Business pays more cash flow. Now, which one's worth more? It's the real estate, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Business pays more. Real estate is a storage of wealth. Real estate is a storage of wealth. It goes up, it protects you against inflation, protects you against the dollar. The debt you take out allows leverage. So it allows you a 2 to 4 times leverage on the dollar, the depreciating asset. So real estate's a great holder of wealth. But when it comes to making money, your business is where it's at. Here's the other cool piece. If you try to take real estate money and put it into a business, you pay taxes. If you try to take stock money, roll it into real estate, you pay taxes unless you're buying in a opportunity zone, in which case you could delay your capital gains. You could defer your capital gains. Very, very rare situation. and you'd have to be doing a pretty intensive development process. So for the most part, anytime you take from one asset to the other class, you're paying taxes. That's a tax for not playing the game properly. Instead of looking at the government as our enemy, instead of looking at the banks as our enemy, look at them as the educators of the game, just the rule setters of the game. And look at the game as something that you can play, and you can play better than other people, something you can play well. Just imagine if you started playing the game of life and learned the tax game and could figure out how to not pay taxes. Wouldn't that be a better way to go? Hands to the camera if that'd be a better way to go. So I'm going to teach you how to not pay taxes. Build a business first. Write this down. This is the order to be successful. First, build a business. You need cash flow. You need extensive, crazy amounts of cash flow. Build a business. 2, buy real estate. Buy your first deal, owner-occupied, 3-family. If you do an owner-occupied single family, whatever, it won't speed you up as much, but it's fine. It's not going to hold you back terribly. But you're cutting out the monthly expense if you go to a 3-family. So 1, build a business. 2, buy real estate. 3, invest in stocks. But do not invest in just any stock or any crypto. Invest in the one that has the ability to 10x itself over the next 5 years. When you're investing in stocks, do not look at stocks as a stock that, well, I'd like what this is doing this month or what it's doing next month. If you're doing an investment, I got Ryan McDermott's approval, so this is good advice. All right. Look at the company that you believe will be there 10 years from now, and you believe that they're going to do something pretty amazing in the world. And so it has a chance to go up a lot. It's underperforming or it's unbelieved in by the market, but you know for sure this is the one that's going to go to the moon over 10 years, over 5 years, not this year. Does that make sense? All right, so we just wiped out AMC and GME. That's not the option. That's not the play. If you're a day trader, that's a job. Again, that's a job. If you're trading options, it's a job. If you're trading Forex, it's a job. We're not looking for a job. We're looking for investments that pay over the long term, that appreciate capital and provide cash flow. Hands to the camera if you want more cash flow in your life. That's money you didn't work for. Yes. You want more profit in your life. Yes. Excellent. All right. So a business has something special built into it. That is the reason we do it before we do any of the other assets. This little thing called expenses. Who's heard of write-offs, tax write-offs? Did you know you can tax write off everything? Like literally everything is an expense for a business. All of it, all the stuff. And when you write something off for taxes, you know what that means? No taxes. You don't pay the tax game. You play the tax game. The idea in life is to not pay taxes. If you pay taxes, you messed up your structure. If you pay taxes, you didn't play the game properly. It's called tax for a reason. You messed up, they tax you. You mess up, they tax you. Does that make sense? The government has an agenda. The federal government has an agenda. They want to make sure that everybody has the ability to live a peaceful life with freedom and the ability to do and enjoy life. That's what the government's job is for, the pursuit of happiness. And so what they do, what they subsidize are housing, jobs. They subsidize anything that creates green energy, technology that advances us. They subsidize. Does that make sense? You can recognize the subsidies. Anybody starting a bit, why do they subsidize business? Because you're building a business. Why do they subsidize real estate? Because people need a place to live. Why do they subsidize farmers? They're feeding you. Why do they subsidize electricity, solar power? Because you're not killing the planet. Does this make sense? The government's not this big bad thing. Look, I grew up thinking they were evil because they kept taking my money. Hands to the camera if you've ever experienced that. They took your money, you're like, fuck you guys. That sucks. Like, stop doing that. Turns out I wasn't playing right. I wasn't playing with the big boys. I wasn't playing the way they wanted the game to be played. Anybody ever heard of this game, Dungeons and Dragons? It's like a super nerdy game, right? Like, yeah, okay, we can think of those people who play it. Okay, no, love you, Andrew. You might be one of those people. All right. I know Ron Bowling is. All right, I take it back, guys. So this is a game where there's a man or woman called a dungeon master. And the dungeon master decides the rules of the game. Hands to the camera if you ever played one of these games, a game like this. Excellent, excellent. And it's a lot of fun when you follow the rules. And when you don't follow the rules, the dungeon master's like, no, this ogre just killed you because, you know, his axe is like poisonous or something, and now it's a stronger hit. So you don't play by the rules, you lose. You play by the rules, you win. The secret to being successful in business, in real estate, and stocks is understand the rules of the game. Understand what the dungeon master really wants, what the government is looking for. And if you can get in line with them, you can get paid. I made a controversial statement a while back. I said something, I'm not going to say it improperly, but the idea is that you want to take money from the government. You really do, but you don't want to take it just for you. You want to take it for a business. You want to take it for a large idea, a large concept that's going to pay you and many other people and provide value to many other people. Taking money from the government can be a good thing, right? In our society, we have such a bad connotation around it because we think people are taking money to the government just to live. Hey, they're not working and they're taking money. That's not, who is annoyed by that? Hence the camera if it annoys you, being paid for nothing. Yeah, I get it. But when you're a business owner and the government is paying you to go build a business that's going to improve the lives of other people, that's a good thing. We agree? Yes? So government money is okay as long as you're doing something useful with it. The money itself is inherently inert, no decision. So build a business that can align with the government. Build a business that can align with the government. In fact, if you're biblical, if you're religious in any way, the Bible even says, always follow your rulers. Always obey the rulers, right? Look, it's just an easier life. I've become a decent sized fish, but there's fish way bigger than me. There's fish out there called whales, right? I'm like a minnow compared to the whales. And so in my city, I have some influence, but there's whales who I defer to, and I always will. And there's people who will always have that level above me that it makes sense to defer to. And it also makes sense to defer to the people who don't have that level yet, because those people will be whales one day. Hence the camp if you know you're going to be a whale. Hell yeah. Absolutely. The mission is to build 100 millionaires. The easiest way to do it is through starting a business, through building a business, through purchasing and acquiring a business. Sometimes it's easier just to buy something that already exists. Fun reminder, Elon Musk didn't build Tesla. He did build Zip2, but he didn't build PayPal. He bought them. He bought into them. Elon Musk built X Bank, which bought PayPal. Elon Musk bought into Tesla. These are important awarenesses because sometimes it makes more sense to buy something already on track, already running, already smoothly operating. I've been interviewing a lot of people this year who own businesses that I've considered buying. The problem is they don't know how to run a business. They don't have businesses, they have jobs. And so when they sell the business, all they've sold me is a lease, some equipment, and a responsibility, which is not what I'm looking to buy. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of jobs out there that people are looking to sell. That's not a business. That's not what you buy. You buy something like what Melanie does. She buys subways that have managers in place. There's already people out there who are managing the business. For us, we buy real estate that already has management in place. We just take over the management. We just replace the management or train the management. That's the business that we've gotten really good at. As far as training and the coaching company, I just acquire coaches who already have products. Hence the camp, if you noticed, every one of these coaches, they're affiliated with Alchemist, but they got their own programs. Hence the camp, if you notice that. Yeah. I just decided to acquire people who have a product already and then sell their product. It adds value. I have to always add value. It's not even a question. When you build your business, add value. Of course, we know. Like, I don't have to tell you. We've heard this from 1,000 other people. It has to add value, have to help people, have to serve. But the business has to serve you. You have to have these pieces lined up. How does it serve the government? How does it serve the government? Write that down. What tax advantages are in this industry? How do I score more of those? Elon Musk nailed it with the EVs, right? Government a while back was like, hey, you build electrical, we'll give you benefits. Elon Musk gets so many benefits from the government, he can't even use them all. He sells them to other companies that need them. Does that make sense? Is that cool? He's the only person in this space who's like, well, they gave me this credit because they want to make sure that we're incentivized to go and build electronic cars, but I already built the electronic cars, so I don't need this credit. So Ford, GM, what do you pay for this? What do you pay for this? So line yourself up to be in line with the government. What do they want? What does exercise? I don't know if I've done this with you for a while, but building a business is important. And we'll talk about this again next week. When I look at the products I want to create, I look at who is the client that I want. Who is the biggest client, the biggest, baddest client out there, the one who has the most money to spend. Who's that client? And then once I identify that client, I say, what do they want? Right? Who are they? How do I meet them? What do they want? The biggest client out there is the government. Ron and I said this a while back when we did our prospectus, when we were sharing. By the way, who knows that we're selling 10th of the company, 10% of South Coast Capital Investments? We're having that conversation tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Ron, are you able to drop that Zoom link, or Dorina, drop that Zoom link in the chat? If you haven't registered already, then definitely register. It's going to be a very valuable, cool call. We're going to talk about our alignment with the government, why it makes sense for us to be in that direction. But we looked at it and we said, who is the biggest player in the game? Uncle Sam. He is. Buy the real estate, build the real estate, renovate the real estate that he wants you to own, and he'll pay for it. He'll give you the most money. HUD, minimum housing, market rate housing, like low income housing. Like there's a lot of different programs. But give and create what Uncle Sam wants, and you get paid for it. A lot of tax benefits. Building in certain areas, the city will help pay for it. There's tax benefits there. So a lot of opportunities working with the biggest player in the game. So one, how does it serve the government? What are the tax benefits? What is the government looking to do? Two, how does it serve you? How does it serve you as a person? Does this business provide you with the things that you want? For me, I want to be on stages, hanging out with the richest, most successful people on the planet, giving them real estate advice. Like that's really like, if I'm to go like to my core of who I am, I just want to hang out with celebrities and give them real estate advice. I'm going to be the guy who gives real estate advice to the people who have wealth, which means I got to become bigger. I got to become bigger. I got to know how to do those deals. But it's just, I started off years ago saying, man, I'd love to just be chilling with a celebrity. Like, would Jay-Z be like, who's Jay-Z's real estate guy? Why isn't it me? And that was kind of a start. And this is practice. This just leads to what I'm doing. Building a train. Celebrities work with celebrities, right? Hands to the camera, if that makes sense. Yeah. So if I want to chill with celebrities, probably got to go do it. Got to go get there. Whatever your thing is for 10 years from now, just say, okay, does this business fit my long-term goal? Could it fit what I'm looking to create and turn into 10 years from now? How does it serve the government? And how does it serve me? Does this lead to where I want to be 10 years from now? 10 years from now. And this, you could scrutinize any business you have. And I strongly suggest picking just one, because there's probably only one business that's really running a huge flow, and then outsource the other ones. And then third and lastly, who is my avatar? Who can I serve with this business? Where are they? You may have to change location. You may have to change your marketing strategy. You may have to change your branding. You may have to change how you serve them. But really, once you understand how the government is lined up, once you understand how it lines up for you, then you can go and figure out who it serves, who the right people are for that product and that business. Does that make sense? There's a way to adjust your skill. There's a way to adjust your skill to what does the market need is how you make a ton of money. And that's how most coaches will start you. Hey, what does the market need? What's the big problem? But please make sure that it's lined up with taxes and yourself first, and then go and find where the market's gap is. You don't want to be too specific in the beginning on the first two steps. Industry is fine. Like industry, that's, taxes. And then skill set, that's you. That's personal for the future. And then niche, that's who do I serve? Where is the big body of people that wants this? Hands to the camera if that makes sense. 3 steps to building a business. 3 steps to building a business that gives you tax advantages. Now here's the other side to the business. Your goal is to pay no taxes. Your goal is always to pay no taxes, except for the amount of money it requires to go and buy a house in your market. That can be anywhere between $36,000 to $75,000 a year. You want to pay yourself a salary of $36,000 to $75,000 a year. That's important to be able to go buy real estate. Phase 2. So when I say that you don't want to pay taxes, I do not mean that you don't want to pay tax, all the tax. Like just leave yourself $36,000 to $75,000 a year to earn that. And as this video ages, that number may have to change with the government and inflation of the dollar. But for right now in 2021, my birthday, February 27th, 2021, I'm 35 years old. This tax advice makes sense today. Give me a round of applause. Hell yeah. That's right. Celebrating with my people. So if that's true, that you don't want to pay taxes, but you want to pay some, remember, you're not paying those some for the tax man. You're paying those some for your lender, for the bank man, for the banker, the bank lady, the person who's got to give you extra money. They want to see that you were responsible enough to go and pay something to Uncle Sam. We got tax professionals on the call right now. We got Julie Brady. She's like, yup, you got to pay something, homie. Like something's got to go to Uncle Sam. But it doesn't have to be all of it. Yeah, I remember one year I paid $46,000 to Uncle Sam. I claimed too much. Whoops, I made a mistake. I took too much out of the game. I took too much out. I should have claimed way less. But I didn't know. I didn't structure properly. I didn't put it in together properly. Now I got it down to the point. I pay Uncle Sam like $5,000, $10,000 a year. No big deal, right? It's like, that's kind of the sweet spot for how we structure it. My effective tax rate is like 18%. My effective tax rate is lower than most people who work a 9 to 5. Hands to the camera if you know that's true. You're paying 20, 25%. Yeah. Thankfully, assets make a lot of money, but they absorb it. They hide it. They cover it. We're doing the thing that the government wants. All right. So if you want to build wealth, you got to find the right strategy for you. You got to find the right mentors. The mentorship is designed to build wealth. It's designed to increase income. Hands to the camera if you know you want to make more income in 2021. 2021. Yes. Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're smart. Because 2021 has more opportunity to make more income. We're doubling our income this year, same as we always have. We're doubling our net worth this year, same as we always have. The company currently owns $5.5 million worth of real estate, so we'll be doubling to $11 million minimum of real estate. But at this point, it's easier for us to move faster. We may be able to do more than that. The goal is to get somewhere around 15 million, 20 million. If I miss, nobody will cry. Nobody will care if I miss. But if I hit it, I'll have bragging rights. Hands to the camera if you want bragging rights for 2021. Excellent. Excellent. So the mentorship is designed to help you build a business, buy real estate, and invest in stocks or crypto. We have a professional in every one of those aspects. Hands to the camera if you've already been through the mentorship and know it was pretty damn amazing. Excellent. Hands to the camera if you went through the mentorship and wish the mentorship continued beyond the mentorship. Wish there was more. Excellent. So we decided to do, Ron and I had a conversation this week to solve that problem. We said anybody who's been through the mentorship in 2020, we're going to provide a booster shot, what we're calling the COVID booster shot. And so it's a stimulus package for anybody who already went through the mentorship for half of what you paid originally. We'll bring you back through it. Full 8 weeks, same 5 books again, just like I do every year, same 5 books again, and the same processes, same principles. But you'll be getting a different experiences with the coaches. The coaches will be doing group trainings, which is a little bit different from when you went in the first time. So the mentorship will be sold now for $497 for second timers, people who want the booster shot, people who want to come back through, get that little kick in the teeth, that extra juice. For people who are brand new, it's $1,200. And that's because we're vetting you out. We're verifying that you're the right person for the community. We're verifying that you have the desire to make it to the 100 millionaires, unless your name is Osufawa. In which case you're good. You and I have a special relationship. We made a deal already. So that stands true. And so for anybody who doesn't know Tabitha, she is a VA out of Ghana who does a lot of work for Jennifer Sullivan in the book writing business that Jennifer has started that I simply help sell. Remember, I say don't build extra businesses. I simply am a salesperson in Jennifer's business. Although, we have that business partnership. She does all the work. Hands to the camera if it makes sense to build a business for somebody else does all the work. I agree. Yes. It makes you a genius. And it makes them a genius because if they line themselves up to somebody who's bringing the money in, perfect. Win-win. So Tabitha is doing a lot of work with Jennifer over in Ghana. Ghana is a country that the dollar it goes far in Ghana, right? The dollar goes really far. Ghana is inflated like you wouldn't believe, so much inflation. And so Tabitha's smart. She's making her money in the US. She's living in a place where the money goes a little further. And she started building a business. She has employees. She has other people working for her. She has been listening to the wealth principles and she decided, hey, I'm coming to the show. Let's give Tabitha a round of applause. Awesome. Awesome. I love seeing the effect. So the project she's working on is the 52 Weeks to Wealth. We're writing the book between me and Jennifer and Tabitha and her team. We're getting the book, the 52 Weeks to Wealth, built for the people in the mentorship, the people in our mastermind, this group, to continue to grow and expand and get to the next level. You're very welcome, Tabitha and Jen. Thank you for what you guys are doing for us. We appreciate you. It really is a powerful tool. The 52 Weeks to Wealth is designed to be the Bible for entrepreneurs, to be that 52 principles with the processes and the steps and the stories and the ability for you to take your life to the next level annually. Yes, you still have to read the 5 books if you're in the mentorship. Hands to the camp if you recognize the reading is important. It is there for a reason. It is there for a reason because it makes you successful. You want more, so we deliver more. If you haven't joined the mentorship, you can have a call with Dorina. Dorina, if you could drop your link in the chat, or you can go to gualtermurillo.com/mentor and just fill out the form. Pay. Yes, it's worth it. The reason we charge, as I told everybody all the time, is so that you take it seriously. We are at a point where we're building 100 millionaires. We will teach, we will train. There are 8 of us. The coaches are here to inspire and empower and give you what you're looking for. But we're at a point in our lives where we're all successful millionaires. We do not want to waste time with somebody who's dilly-dallying and doesn't want to take themselves seriously. So the only people we'll play with are people who pay. There's a play to pay model. When I first started, I felt bad taking money. Now I'm at the point where I've done taking money and I've done for free, and I will never do for free again because it's just too time consuming and I see no results. As a coach, where are my parents at? Hands to the camera if you have parents. You're a parent, yes? Excellent. Or you're an uncle or not, or you've ever seen children before. You've ever had them under your control for a little while. Isn't it annoying when they don't listen to you or when they hurt themselves on your watch? It's like, shit, I told you not to. Why'd you touch that, right? It's the same thing as a coach, as a mentor, as a guide. When you teach people, you want them to go and do it because it excites you. We live vicariously through you. Look, I can't start all the businesses. I can't buy all the real estate. I just gave you that advice, right? Hands to the camp, if you recognize I told you not to start multiple businesses, just start one, just do one. So I can't do them all, but I live vicariously through you doing them. That's why I love coaching. That's why, I will do it for the rest of my life, but I will not do it for free because when I do it for free, people don't do it. They don't actually go take action. Does that make sense? We get it, right? So with a child, if they don't know there's some sort of discipline on the other end of it, for you, your dollars are, hey, if I spend the dollars and I don't get the return on investment, it's my fault. I've wasted, I've lost. Well, it's the same thing with a child. If, they don't get the candy they're looking for, then, they're more prone to listen. Does that make sense? If you have some sort of incentive on the other end. So the return on investment is the incentive. So we charge $1,200 for 8 weeks for you to go through a weekly training where every week I'll be there with the other coaches. We break out into breakout sessions. We hold the accountability. We celebrate your wins and we move you towards the right direction. We have you read the book a week. And yes, you will read a book a week. It's impressive that people who've never read before come out of this program reading a book a week. Hands to the camp if you're reading a book a week now, but didn't before. Amazing. It's like a part of your life. In fact, people come out of the mentorship and they're like, dude, what do I read this week? What's next? What's the next book? Speaking of books, Mike Shine, the book of the week. Are you ready, my friend?
I am ready.
Rock and roll.
Okay, so this book doesn't need any introduction because you've probably all read it. This is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And so I'm not really going to tell you about it because I feel like you've all read it. I just want to give you my personal experience. I read it approximately 2 years ago, and I learned the difference between an asset and a liability. And I also learned that you need to have a business, not a job where you're stuck all the time. And within 18 months, I changed from having no property except for my house to having 5 properties, cash flowing. Because when I read this book, I said, oh shit, I'm stuck in a job. And so And yeah, so that's a Rich Dad Poor Dad. I can't say enough about it. If you haven't read it, it's kind of required to be in the Alchemist community. It's amazing, amazing book. And it'll lead you to go to the next one, the Cash Flow Quadrant, which is the second book, which I also recommend. So Rich Dad Poor Dad, I'm sure you've all read it, but I've met a lot of people who said that they've read it. Oh yeah, I read that book 20 years ago. Go read it again. Read it again. Rich Dad Poor Dad. Thank you.
Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause. Mike is the keeper of the books. He is also a holistic attorney. He is the closer. We use him for all of our transactions, our legal advice, and connecting us with other attorneys if it's something that he doesn't specialize with. But he loves books. He loves training. He loves teaching. Hands to the camera if you recognize that Mike just wants to see you do better. Absolutely. Absolutely. He puts his time in. He volunteers on all the calls. Sometimes Mike is on more calls than I'm on because he cares about this community. Right? He's in here. He wants to see you be successful. So I've been asked the question before, what can you do to help me? Hands to the camera if you've ever felt that. You want to help me because we're giving so much back. We're always adding value. I want you to write this down because this is very important to me. The biggest thing you can do to help me is become successful. Right? Build your first million. Build your first million. Do what we're suggesting. Go out there. Try it out. Experiment. Explore. Just see what you're capable of. And then once you've built the million, let me know, right? I want to be the first person you tell. I want to be the first person. I want our coaches to be the first people you tell, hey, I made it. I'm successful. I made the first million. What do I do next? How do I get to the next million? This mission to build 100 millionaires has a bigger meaning behind it. We're building $1 billion company, a real estate investment trust. It's going to change the planet. We want to be the future of housing. We want to own the smart housing. We want to own the housing that has green energy. We want to be the people who created that, what the world needs going forward. We want the government coming to us and saying, hey, can you do more of that across the country? Hands to the camp if you want to be a part of something like that. Or when the economy goes a certain way, we make more money because we solve the problem that the government, that the world, that the country had. And so we're building that company now. It starts small. It starts with relationships. It starts with building. And it also starts with 100 millionaires. We can't get REIT status. This is how long-term the thinking is. We can't become a real estate investment trust and get all the tax benefits for our investors until we have 100 members. Hands to the camera if you know you want to be one of those members. Hell yeah. Of course. It only makes sense. We're building a company worth being in. Make sure, this is the last exercise for this. Make sure the company you build is worth being a part of. Make sure it's something that you can look back 10 years from now and say, man, I'm glad I built that. It's okay if it's not that big today. Look, do I own $1 billion worth of real estate today? No. But you see that it's possible. Hands to the camp, you know it's possible. You know it's coming. No, nothing can stop that. And so we move towards it with the plan, with the vision. It's okay for you to take a weekend or 2 weekends or 3 weeks or take a month to think about your business 10 years out and say, what am I building 10 years out? What am I capable of? And if you can't figure it out, just take whatever you have today and double it for the next 10 years. Take whatever you think is possible in the next 12 months, the next 90 days, 365 days. Just take whatever you think is possible for yourself in 2021 and then double that 10 times. Hands to the camera if you think that's possible. To have that exercise, do that exercise this week. That's all I did. And it got me to $1 million by the time I was 32. And when I was 32, I went through a depression because I'd reached my goal too soon. Hands to the camera if you ever experienced that. You're like, man, what's the point in life right now? Yeah, my midlife crisis was at 32 years old, right? And I decided, one, I'm not living to be 64. I'm going to go live to be 140. It's my birthday today, right? So I'm a quarter of the way through. And then I decided I'm going after a bigger goal so that if I hit this goal, when I hit this goal, I'll know that this shit works. And all that I've ever done one thing is stick to it. That's all I've ever done. My secret to success is set a goal and then be unrelenting on the goal. Stick-to-itiveness. It's a real word. It's in the dictionary. In fact, it'll probably be my 5th book when I finally write it, right, Jen? It's coming. Stick-to-itiveness is the secret to success. Set an unrealistic goal just for doing it, and then hunt after it relentlessly. Hunt after it. If you got nothing better to do with your life, I promise you don't. I promise you've got nothing better to do than set a 10-year goal and unrelentingly go after it. There really is. Like your life, all the other stuff in your life that you want to do can still be done around that goal. In fact, that goal may help it. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. If having $1 billion company might help you hit all the other stuff. Yeah. Set the 10-year goal. Set the crazy, outlandish 10-year goal. Maybe you want a net worth of, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever it is. For me, I'm like, well, I said $1 billion because I hit 1 million way too soon. Hit it too early. I wanted to hit something. I wanted to set something that would take a while, that I would see progress every year. I want you to do the same thing. I want you to see progress every year. It doesn't have to be huge. My first year, I bought 1 3-family, right? Hands to the camera if you've already bought 1 3-family. If you already got one. Hands to the camera if you don't, if that's your first goal. Cool. Hands to the camera if I just got to save the money for the first 3-family, right? Like, hey, there it is. Progress. This is progress. Every year you can progress. Every month you can progress. Every quarter is a progression. It's moving forward. It's building. Now, at this point, I've had, $100,000 months. I've had $300,000 months. I've had $1.5 million quarters. So the goal keeps growing, keeps expanding. $1 billion would be fun. Who wants to be a part of it? Hands to the camera if you know you want to be a part of it. All right, start today. So Sunday at 12. Sunday at 12, we're going to be talking about South Coast Capital Investments. And we're talking about what we're doing over the next 10 years to build a $4 billion REIT. $4 billion. The reason I went to 4 is because that's what 10 years led to. 8 years is what got me to $1 billion. Does that make sense? I did the math and just doubling got me to $1 billion in 8 years. So I added 2 more years so that I could have a 10-year plan, and it leads to a $4 billion company. So we're going to talk about it Sunday. For some of you, you can invest. It is your time to invest with us, and it makes sense. For some of you, it does not. Stay in the mentorship. Join the mastermind. Let us coach you. Join one of the coaches. Let us help you build your wealth. Let us help you build your income. If financially you're there and you can invest, I want to invest with you. If financially you're not there to invest, I want to invest with you so that you can invest. Does that make sense? I want to see you earning income. I want to see you generating more wealth. I want to see you building up to the point where you can invest with the company. The whole point in building this company is more than just, hey, let me put a target out there. My ambitious goal is I want to build a company, which is the company I wish existed when I started building my portfolio. I wish I could have just sold my portfolio to a company that would have taken it and then given me shares and dividends in return. Right now, I've built this monster portfolio that I still want dividends off of, but nobody's willing to just buy it and pay me dividends. Does that make sense? So landlords, who knows that would be cool if all your real estate, you could just sell it for shares in a company that pays you dividends. Yeah, I know that's literally what I would have loved to already exist. Of course, the UPREIT structure doesn't work until you're at 300, 400 units. That's when the UPREITs will finally come and pick you up. So Ron and I are pioneering this. It's not a crazy thought to think just buy with shares instead of buying with dollars. So we're going to teach you the process of where we're going tomorrow at 12 p.m., Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to talk about it. We're going to show you the process of what we're doing, what our prospectus looks like. We're going to talk about why it makes sense to invest with us. It's a long-term play. We're going to talk about all those factors. But I want to be very, very clear that I want you invested at some point, but I want you invested when it makes sense for you. The only money that we're willing to reinvest in this company is money that makes sense to invest. If you're financially not there yet, then I want you investing in your training. I want you investing in your education. I want you investing with the coaches, with the mentorship, with the mastermind, because that's the only way that I can get you to where I want you to be. I want you to be a part of the company, and I want it to be done in a way where we can help you retire. We can help you make massive income and be a part of something really big together. It's important to be a part of big things. in my fulfillment, I invest in Tesla. It makes me feel good. You know, it makes me feel like I'm a part of something bigger. I'm a part of something that's really making the planet a better place. And so I want to create a company that allows that for you. And I want to do it in a way where you're financially better for it. Does that make sense? This is recorded. Go back and rewatch it. The reason I built this company, it should be the same place you're coming with building your business. It should be the same space you're coming from. You're solving a problem for you. I want to be around successful and wealthy people. I mentioned that at the beginning, right? I want to be around celebrities, rich, successful people who've done well. I didn't say they had to already be there when I met them. I'm okay with building those people. I'm okay with hanging out with those people and building them to get to that point. I'm flexible in the how, but unrelenting in the result. Does that make sense? So I knew what I wanted. I'm in line in a business that makes sense with the government. Government's my favorite friend now. They're my partner. They're my peeps. The other enemy I used to have was the bank. I said, nope, now I am the bank. I like the bank. So the bank is now my friend. You know, they're my relationship. They're my best friends, right? The government and the bank. They got all the money. Cool. I hang out with the people who got the money. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. Excellent. Excellent. Serve the people who have the most desire for what you got and the most money to pay. And I noticed that the bank had the most money. So I serve the bank. They want to put the money back to work. Cool. I'll put the money back to work for you. We'll buy assets that make sense. And our clients, our tenants, they make out because we're making out. We buy assets, we manage them well, and our tenants that we serve, they get taken care of. They get a good place to live because that's the spiritual side. You want to serve. You want to make sure the world's a better place. You know, we ultimately get paid for that. So make sure your business is in line with that. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Before we sign off, hands to the camera if you know cryptocurrency is a great way to make money. If you know that me, Mike, Mitch, Patrick, some of us are really invested in crypto right now, heavily. If you're financially at a point, like I talked to Melanie yesterday, Melanie's got a pretty boring business. She just buys Subways, you know, negotiates deals, and then she goes back home and she doesn't even make sandwiches there, right? So she only makes sandwiches at the Subways, the train. So she has her son and her husband and her daughter that she has to entertain, right? That's basically Melanie's life. And she keeps Dorina busy, right? So as long as, you know, she's keeping her people happy, Melanie's happy. But she's got this desire to go make more money and learn other things. I was like, well, why don't you just learn crypto, right? Like that makes more sense. Go learn stock, go learn crypto, but run your business, keep your business growing and expanding. Now, this advice is not for everybody, but if you're financially doing okay and your business is doing all right, you should learn about cryptocurrencies and you should learn about Leo Finance, which is a stock that a crypto that me and Mike are heavily invested in that is doing phenomenal for us. In fact, I'll be buying more coins sometime this week because Mitch got the hookup on it. Mitch, what is the time for the class? What is the day and time that we're doing the crypto class?
This coming Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to spend a couple hours demystifying crypto because it's really not that complicated. But, you know, you fear what you don't know. You're confused by what you don't know. But just like real estate, once you learn the basics, you know, of investing, the method, then you're like, oh, okay, I can do this.
Mitch Jaworski. It's much simpler than that, and it's much more complex. Crypto is something you have to have an understanding of. You have to be walked through. It's a $97 course because I told Mitch I will not sell it unless it pays something. I will not bring people to unless they're serious about crypto. So we got a barrier to entry there. So people who are just looking to dilly-dally with crypto, not for you. But if you're looking to actually learn, Mitch is going to take his time to actually walk you through the process of what a blockchain is, how to get a wallet set up, what wallets you trust, what wallets you don't trust, what your keys are, how to protect your keys, all the important aspects that coming into crypto, I was like, seriously, this is overwhelming. And then I stopped and I didn't do anything for a year. Whereas if I had just gone through Mitch, and once Mitch brought me through it within, I'd say 2 weeks, I was already earning crypto. I actually mine crypto and I earn some Leo. Who knows, you'd like to earn some coins for doing very little. That would be cool. Yes. There's a couple different strategies. Mike Shine went the massive passive income route. So he does what's called staking his coins, and the votes go and create Leo for him every week. I do that as well, but I also curate. And so I create content that pays me for the creation. Now, it's a complex process. We'll explain the whole process, how it works at the crypto course. Mitch, can you drop the link again for crypto?
Sure.
Or you can go to alchemistnation.com/crypto. I made it nice and simple. Hands to the camera if you know you want to be at this course, if it makes a lot of sense for you to at least get this education in now before the time runs out. Look, I'm still heavily investing in crypto. I still put money in it only because I have money to invest. This is not your last dollars. If you don't have money, then you want to learn this with Mitch, because we also have a way for you to earn crypto without any dollars. I've earned over $1,000 in crypto in the last 3 months from just posting a blog. Hands to the camera if you know you could write a little bit and be worth it to learn and write in a community that's all finance related. Yes. So the coin that we chose is called Leo, and it's on the Leo Finance blockchain. Actually, it's on the Hive blockchain, which is it also has a Ethereum factor. The wrapped Leo has an Ethereum factor. But I know this is the stuff that
I love this rabbit hole you're going down.
All right, we'll bore you
Someone
about
pump the
this
brakes
when it
on
comes time
Galter.
for the crypto class.
All right. Well, it's somewhat next level you're going right there with the stuff you're talking about. But the bottom line
I'm so
is, like,
smart. I know crypto now.
yes, Galter and Mike Shine are now like crypto experts. And I mean, I always joke, I pick on Mike Shine. I'm like, if we can turn a boomer into a crypto guru, then I'm pretty sure I can teach anybody. So Mike Shine's been freaking crushing it with crypto. And in the end, the goal is to just demystify it. I mean, show you guys, all right, this is what Bitcoin is, this is what runs cryptocurrency, the blockchain is what crypto's all about. People just think Bitcoin. I'm like, no, Bitcoin's just a coin. Like, the blockchain is the engine. It's kind of like, a lot of people call it Web 2.0. It's like kind of like second coming of internet in a way, and the way it impacts our world, our economy, and society. So, we're just going to demystify it real quick, show you how really simple it is. Like, it's not much more difficult than dealing with your online banking. And then once you have that revelation, you're like, oh, okay. So that's the goal. And then from there, how to confidently transact in it. And then I will introduce you to some resources like Leo Finance, good resources just to, find coin listings and be able to see what exchanges they're on, and, what exchanges are US based, and which ones, are shady, overseas things that, you probably shouldn't mess with. So kind of just, putting you in that space to function and operate, safely and confidently.
That's coming up this week, right?
Friday.
Friday.
Come
Mike
on, bro,
Shine,
you
go
pick the
ahead.
date.
Hey, just a quick testimonial for Mitch. I mean, he really did take a boomer like me. It was very intimidating the first couple of conversations. I didn't understand the language. But seriously, within 2 weeks, I could understand what we were talking about, blockchain, wallets, all that kind of stuff. And so I recommend it highly. Mitch has a gift for teaching, and especially teaching crypto. So I really recommend it. I attribute all my success in crypto to talking to Mitch. Thank you.
You are too kind, sir.
And that's Friday the 5th at 6 p.m.
Yes, sir.
All right, I just dropped it in the chat. So Friday the 5th at 6 p.m. Be there or be crypto square, right? So this is your chance to learn it. If you do not learn it now, you may regret that in the future. The only reason we're teaching you is because we do think that at some point real estate will be purchased this way, and it makes a lot of sense to start acquiring some knowledge and understanding of crypto. I'd rather our community be ahead than behind. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that I wasn't sharing the knowledge that is adding so much value to my portfolio and adding so much value to my life. Also, Mitch and I both blog every day on the Leo blockchain because we get paid for it. And so I want you to go in and be able to follow our blogs there, follow what we're writing, what we're putting out. We talk mostly about real estate, but we talk about silver, stocks, crypto, and some other, obviously we go back and forth. So it's a platform I'm very heavy on, and Mitch is very heavy on. And there's a lot of really great information out there that is constantly being put out there. And some of you and some of the coaches may find value in writing out there and creating content yourselves, which then brings you some coins. It's always nice to make a little extra cash. Answer the can feel like a little extra cash for just giving your opinion. I agree. I agree. It's a cool process. So Sunday, we're talking, tomorrow we're talking about the investment with South Coast Capital Investments. It's important to be there just to learn about it. Again, there is no better investment than education. And I want you to learn at least the process of how a company sells shares, how a company can create a fund, and how a company sells shares. If we're the right company for you to invest with, then I want to create the offer for you. I want to create the opportunity. And if you don't have the money to invest, then I want to create that opportunity for you as well. Let's put a plan together. Let's get a coaching call scheduled with the right coaches. Let's move you into the right program to get your finances there. Does that make sense? It's designed. So Sunday is an opportunity to recalibrate and set a great goal for 2021. I know how Mitch is. Mitch said, look, man, like I'm not liquid yet, so I can't invest in South Coast Capital yet. Like it gives me a reason to go earn money. Right? It gives me a reason to go and earn and collect so that he can make that investment. And that was, one of the things that I felt when I saw Tesla stock drop. I was like, oh man, I don't have enough liquidity. I've got to go earn some liquidity so I can get into Tesla stock, right? As I was watching Mike's go up and so whatever that thing is, maybe sometimes not taking care of yourself and having things like, I know Melanie is not one to go spend money on herself, right? Like she had the hardest time going and buy a big house, but she'll go buy other people's real estate, right? Like for years, she's done that. So you may be like me. I have a hard time going and, earning income when it's just for me to live better. But when I put an asset out there that I want to buy, that I want to invest in, I go and I earn. Like no, I'm like, okay, I'll work whatever hours. I'll find whatever people. I'll do whatever it is because I want to own that 6 family, or I want to own that 20 unit, or I want to own that amount of stocks. Yeah, I'm looking to have $1 million in Tesla, or whatever it may be. There's people's companies I want to go and invest in. So I go and I grab that money so that I can do that. So set your goals. Tomorrow's going to be powerful. There was one more thing. The mastermind. The mastermind is today at 12. So if you are a paid member of the mastermind, you've already registered, you are in, then you are meeting back in the mastermind room. You've already received the link. If you haven't received the link, send Dorina a text. So mastermind today, make sure that you bring to the table what your one thing is, the big question we can help you with. I know Dorina asked for everybody to be more organized this month. Hands at the camera if you got that notification already. Asked us to be more organized. Excellent. So submit your information to Dorina. She'll make sure that the mastermind is ran properly. Whoever submitted their information first obviously goes first. And whoever submitted it last obviously goes last. And if you're one of those tardy people who didn't submit your information, well then you go last. So you'll go after everybody else. So before we leave, I've got about 10 minutes. I want to make sure that the coaches give their feedback. Hands to the camera if you recognize these coaches are millionaires and very intelligent people to listen to. Excellent. They give a lot of feedback, a lot of great advice. I'm going to go to Ryan McDermott because I know he occasionally just jumps off because he's got a soccer game with his kids. The fact that you're still here, I assume there is no soccer game, Ryan?
No soccer game today, not in February.
Well, I don't know. It's summer down here, Ryan.
Well, it's basketball, but anyway, no, it was great call. I really love the idea of not thinking of the government as your enemy, but as your partner. And I think understanding, the same thing with financial institutions, understanding the government, what the goals of the government financial institutions are critical. I think we get tripped up sometimes thinking one-dimensionally about wealth. When you're in the accumulation phase of building wealth, like we kind of all are in right now, we're trying to make a smaller dollar, a bigger dollar. That's really what the measure of success is. And, the government will give you tax incentives to do that. And owning a business definitely makes it easier. If you're creating jobs, the government wants to help you. But if the goal is to accumulate assets and to get to that next phase, financial freedom, the point is to generate income. The measure of success in that phase is much different. The measure is how much income can we get from our assets. So shouldn't we be thinking about how the government treats us in that next phase? And the spoiler alert is your success in phase 2 is affected by how you choose to partner with the government in phase 1 and financial institutions in phase 1. And it's this stuff is not taught in school. It's learned about in rooms like this. And this is why our firm focuses on teaching these things, and how you can kind of implement and get yourself organized with really solid financial structure for all the phases. So
I like it. And that is one of the reasons that we have a financial advisor as one of our coaches. Hands to the camp, it makes sense to take financial advice from somebody with a Series 7, which, by the way, he can't give financial advice, but he does provide guidance, education, information. And what he said just now, phase 1, build wealth. Phase 2, acquire cash flow. The taxes play very differently. Ryan is a tax advantage specialist. He teaches you how to build your entities, how to build your structures, how to go grab your income. He's not an attorney. He is a financial, I can say a financial advisor, right? That's what your title is? Yeah. So
financial planner. That's what I like to,
a financial planner. So you'll map things out properly. Now, if you're in the mentorship and haven't had the conversation with Ryan McDermott, I don't know how many times I've said it. You're missing out. You got to capitalize on this opportunity, because taxes they can be your biggest enemy if you don't play the game properly. But you want them to be your biggest ally. You want the government to be your biggest ally. So Ryan's very good at advantaging and playing with the government properly. Doug McGurk, you're up.
Right on. Well, awesome. By the way, happy freaking birthday. I didn't realize till I got on here, and I was like, oh, I would have, said something sooner. I would have baked you a cake.
Thank you, brother. I'll fly down for a cake.
There you go. So, yeah, there are tons of stuff today. Man, this was like packed with tons of amazing insight. And one of them, it just reminded me of the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. My dad, when he was like, I don't know, he was probably like 60, 55, 60, was a high level executive at a bank, at a publicly traded bank, EVP, number 2 in the company. And when it got sold, he lost his, obviously they came in, why are they going to pay, some older dude, a couple $100,000 when we could just bring some little, young guy out of college, pay him $60,000. And so I gave him the book. I didn't give him Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or I had, and he hadn't read it. I gave him, though, I'm just honoring the whole series, Loopholes of the Rich. And he went out, and after he read it, he went out and he bought a company from Grumman. He started a couple of companies, built them up and sold them. And the other point I'm making here, it's never too late. Like, even I saw some people sharing they had W-2s and all of that. You could use them to your advantage. And when you're in this environment, man, tap into all these resources, and you will be able to take advantage of every situation and opportunity in front of you. So, brilliant job as always. And then just a quick plug, Tuesday night, I know if you're not already in with Terry and Walter and all that, You Rock Speaking launches this Tuesday. So if there's any last minute people who want to jump in and grow your business through speaking, get as good as Walter, then come here and we will get you rocking.
I appreciate the plug, Doug. Yes, You Rock Speaking this Tuesday night. If you can drop the link, Doug, so anybody wants to jump in, they have access to that. It is a powerful training. Doug trained literally under Tony Robbins, traveled with Tony Robbins, understands speaking. He's able to communicate and teach very clearly. Hands to the camera if you just feel comfortable listening to Doug's voice. That is a learned process. That ability to have the charismatic character, to have a comfortable, soothing voice, that is something that we train. It's something that you create for yourself. So you may not naturally have it, but learning how to speak that way is a part of influence and learning how to rock on stage. So make sure that you have a conversation with Doug at some point this week to get in line with his training. It starts this Tuesday. Excellent. Dr. Terry Wager, you're up. Is Christine online? Is she here?
Christine
there she
is, and
Yes.
I'd be more than happy to let her go before me.
Oh, ladies first. All right. Christine McGinley, you're up.
Terry has the trained voice.
It
Not
is true.
quite as soothing as Doug's, but Terry has that hypnosis voice too. I don't. I'm Christine. I have who I am. I do like today's lessons of stick-to-itiveness. I like to call it consistent and persistent, but it's the same thing. Pick your lane, get really good at it. I mean, it's like you said, what spins off last week's with the whole idea of put all your eggs in one basket. And then, we've been talking with Ryan a lot last week, and he knows how to play the game you've talked about today. And if you guys haven't had the chance, I'm going to boost my kudos over to Ryan to check out what he's got going on, because he knows how to put it in your little pots and grow your money, because we work hard for that money. So cheers to your success, Walter, in your year. Happy birthday.
Thank you, Christine. Let's give Christine a round of applause. And Doug McGurk and Ryan McDermott. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Christine, if you don't know about her, she was a manager at Starbucks. And when I say manager at Starbucks, I don't mean like little manager. I mean like big manager. She helped design their program, their training. Starbucks University, she had some impact on how that was designed, how people were trained in Starbucks. They're one of the best training companies on the planet. Just so you know, if you haven't heard it, if you don't know, it's a less known secret, but that is the truth. They're very well known in the self-development community as one of the best training companies on the planet. And so she's able to go in and help systematize and organize and build your business. And she's really a very valuable asset to Generator Coaching. So thank you, Christine. We love having you on the calls and in the mentorship and adding value with all the coaching that you're doing. Dr. Terry Wager, you're up next.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
That's awesome. I wish we could have been down there to celebrate with you. This will happen soon. The business building is my favorite thing. You covered so much. There could be 52 weeks of this. Oh, wait, there is on Thursdays. And the idea that starting a business to grow your cash flow so you can start investing in Ryan's buckets. See, the cool thing is, I don't know that Walter really designed this 52 weeks of wealth to go this way, but as he brought us in, there was some thinking behind it and some providence in connecting us together, because we all do one thing, helping you to do all those things in a path. And that's the piece that I really think about when you're building a business, is it's really about taking that first step, moving forward, protecting, putting it together, moving forward, growing it, and then continuing to build through all of these step-by-step processes. And Walter was talking about the idea of start with a business, put your business together, start selling houses, stay with, if you're in construction, stay with construction and start building that, learn how to build it into an automated process, and then have that automated process start helping you to build your wealth. It makes perfect sense. And as you get bigger and bigger, you start getting into where Walter is, or where Melanie is, or where we are, and you start being able to parlay that into other things. And so it's all about growth. And when we do that, we start to be able to have the life we desire. And that's what Christine and I are all about, is helping you to generate the life, business, and relationships you desire. Because if you think about business, I really think a synonym is relationships. It's just relationships that create money. And so really, when we look at what we're doing, we're helping 100 millionaires make 100 millionaires make 100 millionaires. And it all starts with this group here on Saturday mornings, celebrating with friends. And so, there is nothing that I love more than getting up and doing this in the mornings, hanging out with you guys, building businesses.
Let's give Dr. Terry Arager a round of applause. It is so true. Saturdays are my favorite class. I've said it over and over. If I could pick just one class to teach, Saturday is that class. I get to spend time with you. I spend time with the people in the mentorship early on. We come in a little early, don't tell anyone. But the mentorship members, we come in a little early. We hang out with each other. We see each other. And then at 10 o'clock, we start this lesson, and it's one of the wealth principles that's helped me build my life. It's build my business. These are my affirmations. These wealth principles were my affirmations for years before I became successful. It's what I said to myself every day. I'd run down all 52. Doreena's seen them. I have them on my desk at my house. They're little cards that are just broken out, and the little affirmations are there. They've helped me build an amazing business. And I love sharing them with you because they're tested. They've tested time tested. They've gone through it. They work. They really work. And by dedicating to 1 week, I've seen my business improve. So even by teaching, I'm gaining. Just teaching the principles improves my life. So hanging out with you motivates me to go do it again. Hanging out with you motivates me. And when I say, hey, this is where I'm at this year, if I said the same thing next year, I'd be embarrassed. Does that make sense? So you hold me accountable to keep growing. So thank you so much. And thank you for your success. Remember what I asked for. The biggest thing you can give me is your success. Be successful. Build that $1 million. Build that pentamillion dollars, the 5 million, the decamillion, the 10 million. Some of you are destined to be hectamillionaires. Whatever you wrote down, build it. Ask me how to get there. Yeah, I'm going after $1 billion. If you aim for more than I'm aiming for, I may ask you questions. Does that make sense? That's how this game is played. Let's keep growing. Let's keep rocking. Mitch Jorsky.
Yes,
You're
sir.
up. Oh, and Thursday night, if you haven't already joined us on Thursday nights, it's about building your business. Build your business for profit. Every Thursday night, 5 p.m. with Dr. Terry Wager. Phenomenal training he's put together. Mitch, you're up.
I don't know why, but since Ryan led off, the only thing that's been in my head, and we're the same age, so he'll know the reference, is a hip hop line where he says, "I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents." And you know what? That is so true with business, with investing. I mean, we do it with real estate. I mean, you get a property that essentially, you bought for 150,000, and at some point it's playing as $1 million in your portfolio in terms of the equity or buying power it gives you, or the ability to, leverage, so trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. So whether passive income, whether it's stacking crypto and building that compound, the compound effect, you've seen me do that with Leo, where now it's at the point where it started with 15 cents and now it generates $1 for me on autopilot, in terms of just ratios. So just keep that in mind when you're building a business, when you're building investments. It's like, how does this multiply my initial investment? How does this multiply, that initial revenue even? And Galter preached about staying focused on one business. And I was preached that as well from some really successful people some years ago, like guys that were doing like $1 million months. And, they sat me down like, listen, you got to find a niche and focus on one thing. And they all did that. And I'll admit that I did not do that. I still do 2 things at once. I do the real estate. I do the crypto. It's a problem. Luckily, I've had success with both, but if you can niche down, you're always going to have more success because you'll become a master of that space, and it's no different with real estate investing now. Everyone's like, oh, how do I find deals? I'm like, you got to be in sniper mode. Like the days of walking around with a shotgun and just blasting out, offers and just, throwing stuff at the wall and knowing you're going to get deals. We're not in that market right now. That market will be back at some point, but we're not in that market right now. You got to have the sniper rifle. You got to be the master of a certain markets, certain styles, have those connections. So just keep that in mind, be focused, have that vision on what you're trying to get done. And then all the other stuff, I look at it this way. Let's just call it some fun diversification. You want to grab a little crypto, do it. You want to grab some stocks here, because we're not talking, big dollars. We're talking a little diversification, sometimes just even a little fun. In fact, I think that's why Galter jumped in crypto to begin with. He's like, let's have a little fun money. I'll throw it in there. And then he's like, oh shit, this is working out well. Let me put a little more into this. But anyway, so, it just goes back to, for the most part, be focused. 90% of that focus should be on one business, one thing. And then if you want to diversify a little bit, that's a smaller piece, and Ryan's not allowed to share much because of that license, but he'll tell you like 10% of your portfolio is supposed to be for speculative investments, whether that's getting in a crazy, new tech stock or buying some crypto or, precious metals, whatever it is you want to mess with, that's considered, speculation. So that would be my 2 cents. And if I feel like I'm giving Ryan all this love for some reason today, but I had a Series 7 back in the day. So I will tell you this, just because you have a Series 7 doesn't mean you're actually good and knowledgeable when it comes to investing and financial planning. Like, you have to learn more. You take that test, you learn how to not get sued, and you learn the basics of like how financials work, right? But after that, you still got to get learned, so to speak. And I'm impressed with Ryan's knowledge and the way he approaches wealth management. So it's just yet another addition to this awesome community. Guys like Ryan, guys like Mike Shine, Terry, Doug. It's insane, and I'm sure we're just going to keep bringing on all stars as this community grows.
And the ladies like Christine and Dorina.
Yes, and the ladies. Please, we know the ladies run the show.
That's right. Awesome. Let's give Mitch a round of applause. He's got the crypto class coming up this Friday at 6 p.m. And for everybody who doesn't know, Friday at 5, I'm finally teaching Be the Bank. This is a course I've had in the wings for a long time. I'll be actually teaching it for the first time over the next 6 weeks. Be the Bank, it lines up with get the deal, get the money, and Be the Bank. It's literally been one of those courses that I have lived it, but I hadn't taught it. I'd held it in the wings as something that I wouldn't teach until I felt comfortable with it 100%. And so finally, we're at the point in the company where Be the Bank makes a lot of sense to teach. This is how to earn passive income from real estate with 100% passive return on investment. This is not doing the work. This is not finding the deals. This is simply investing in other people's businesses, other people's assets, being the bank. In fact, you don't just be the bank, you think like the bank. You truly think like the bank in order to be the bank. Does that make sense? As within, so without. When your mind starts thinking like a bank, you become the bank. You earn like the bank. Remember who tiles their walls with marble? The Catholic Church and the bank. They figured out the money game early on. So if you can't currently tile your walls with marble, then you want to show up for the class on Friday at 5. And then Friday at 6, we're just going to jump right into Mitch's crypto class. If you haven't paid, now Friday at 5 is free. The crypto class is $97. Make sure that you pay for it before getting there. And if you don't know how to pay for it, maybe show up to the 5 o'clock class and we'll figure out a couple avenues for you. Answer the camp if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense.
Hell yeah.
I was just curious, how much a day is Mike Shine making in passive income on crypto?
A lot. I know he makes 20 Leo every day, minimum.
Yesterday I checked and I had 59 in there. That's like $30. That's real. It just blows my mind.
Daily money. Wait,
I gotta go check my Leo.
It's magic. It's voodoo. This is voodoo. It's not real.
So since Mike Shine is next, Mike, what was your big takeaway aside from the book of the week?
Yeah. So this, I was thinking about the other coaches were speaking. This is a tough one because it's so chock full of really valuable information. I love every time Walter, happy birthday, by the way. I love how you say, learn it, do it, delegate it. You could say that every week. That would just be amazing. Just at least once a week, put that in. Number 2, and I was just talking to Brenda right here, and we really like the fact that you said dig deeper into what the government is looking for, but that's kind of what Ryan said, so stole my thunder. Nice job, Ryan, rock star. So what I really liked, and I wrote it down because it was part of the exercise, is if the business is exciting, new, etc., it might not be the right business. I can't tell you how many times I was listening to a Bigger Pockets episode and they would talk about storage facilities. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to do storage facilities. And then they'd go, raw land. And I'm like, I have to do raw land. Or trailer parks, I got to do it. And that's such a great lesson that just because it's exciting, it may not be the right business. And I've never heard, me personally, I've never heard anybody else say that before, like you said at Walter. So that's my big takeaway. So thank you.
Awesome takeaway. Let's give Mike Shine a round of applause. Always, always. Every Wednesday at 10 a.m., I sit down with Mike and Mitch, and we talk about what our finances look like. And some of the things that I pull out for this course, I learn in those Wednesday calls. You know, the 100 Millionaires podcast is literally just us having fun, but we also aim to add value and want to, you know, make sure that we're talking with each other about what we're doing, because we do a lot of moves each week. We make a lot of moves. We have a lot of research. And so we want to make sure we're sharing. And I learned so much hanging out with Mike. And so, you know, very valuable takeaway, brother. Thank you. Darina Pagodina, what was your big takeaway? The beautiful Russian princess.
Oh, thank you. Happy birthday, Walter. It's a blessing. 100 people showed up for your birthday this morning. Yay. Actually, Walter's language is, love language is quality time. So this is the best quality time you could spend in the morning on a Saturday. There's a lot of points today, very valuable. In fact, I want to plug in for Doug. I did take the training of UROC speaking, and that was not what I thought I was getting into. It was not about, okay, stand up and do your speech. It was a lot of science behind it and what people get connected with when you see a speaker on stage. What does it make you stick emotionally to the speaker? How do you really get someone's attention for the next hour or have them like you for the first 30 seconds? So it's really valuable if you have a business or you are building a business to learn how to show yourself and your best case in 30 seconds, in a 1 minute. What is it that people are looking for? So I just want to plug that in. But my biggest takeaway for today is don't worry about the how. And Walter had that exercise with me a few days ago. Like if you look at the mountain and you see the top of the mountain is your big goal, and like, oh my God, this is amazing. And now you start worrying about how you get there. You're only looking here. It's like your first step. Oh my God, there's like 1,000 things that I have to do to get there. And you just get stuck on step one because you'll get intimidated by how much, actions you have to take. But like, just don't worry about it. Look at the top and climb that mountain versus like, man, am I doing this right? Am I going to screw up? No, just look at that high-end 10-year goal that's worth pursuing, and then you're just gonna get there step by step. So that's my biggest takeaway. Happy birthday, Walter! Yay!
Thank you, Darina. I appreciate you. And yes, learning how to speak is not just for stage. It's not just to win people over. It's just to be a decent human being. Like, it's your moral, ethical duty to be a likable person when you're out with people, to be able to set the context and move the room. If somebody's in a bad situation, you should be able to control a whole room and solve the problem. So I look at it as, even in situations, I've been in, closed spaces with strangers, when somebody fell and got hurt and people were in a chaotic situation, I was able to control the room and make sure that, the space was created and the right people were identified, because being able to influence is more than just being able to sell something. It's being able to be a decent human being, being able to be that person who can step up and solve problems, and being able to guide and move people in a way that's going to make the situation better. It's a course that it provides dividends beyond anything you could ever understand. So being that person who's able to help guide people, help move people. And if you have children, being able to speak to your children and convince them to do things is just as important. If you have a spouse, being able to move them on board with you, just as important. And being able to control your tone of your voice so it's more attractive so that people want to hear it more often, that's going to help you in all aspects of your life. Hands to the camera if you're single. Mentioned you were single at some point, yes? All right, learn how to speak, right? Well, take the class with Doug. Sorry, Doug, now you're teaching a relationships class.
Well, that's fine. That's what, those of you who don't know, that my wife and I do that. I'm just giving you.
It all ties in.
It is. It's all part of this, because you cannot not communicate.
He said doo-doo.
Did I get all the coaches?
Communicating is even a communication. So yeah, it's really about the power of presence and being able to connect on a deep level so that people, people do business with who they know, like, and trust. So it's creating that relationship immediately is the game changer.
I like it. Thank you, Doug. Thank you all the main coaches. Let's give them a round of applause. We've got some other coaches who are doing some trainings during the week. I want to acknowledge Fred Postmo and Jason Centino. So Jay, what is your class that you're teaching on Fridays? What is the time, and how can people find out more about it and sign up?
Hey, thanks, Walter. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you, brother.
I will personally give you all the birthday punchies that you deserve when I see you.
So everybody who knows, Jason does live in Tampa, so
So I can carry that out, that threat. Yes. So the class that I facilitate or teach, or I don't know, put together for you guys is a 8-week sort of course based on personal branding. It's business and personal. But over the years, it's just stuff that I've accumulated through a variety. And can you guys hear me okay? Because I know I'm in a loud house. Let me go a little quiet.
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. All right. So,
You're good.
yeah. So basically a personal branding class, and it's just basically coming up with who you want to be in the marketplace, and then starting to sort out your customers, but then how you want to communicate with them. We live in a world where it's so noisy, and we all want to build a business, but at the end of the day, nobody cares about XYZ investments, right? Like, they don't care. They care about Alchemist Nation's a great name, but they care about Walter. They care about Mike. They care about the people that run this thing, right? So it's about how do people get to know you and connect with you. So over the course of 8 weeks, I tell you how to, how I've developed stuff, how you should, come up with ideas for that and test it out amongst your friends and family, and also not to get so stuck if you change things along the way. Everything evolves. You evolve. So you're a human being and you're talking to human beings. So to me, your brand should be human, right? And this is just, in a nutshell, just how to take yourself, take yourself into the marketplace, or maybe just adjust what you're doing now. I mean, it applies either way, because like I said, everybody evolves. And yeah, you're going to need this no matter what business you do, whether you become the crypto king, whether you become the real estate soldier, whether you become the econ warrior, whatever the hell you become, you're gonna wanna put on your armor, your suit, your superhero self, and put that out there to the world. And that's what people are, how they're gonna get to like, know, and eventually trust you. So that's what my class is about. It's Fridays, 11 Eastern Standard Time. We go to 11 to 12, and I also have a backlog of it that I put on YouTube. So yeah, so you can go through all the meetups. And also, I think I took the word personal brand meetup.com, which puts you right into the Zoom meeting. So you could just schedule it that way too. And then get on the rotation. You also get a free ebook that comes with it. And it's a little bit of a wacky ebook. I probably gonna do a version 2.0, but that's my personality. And anyway, I'm into family and fun. That's my personal brand. I'm always going to stay with that, even when it evolves. And if it, you always got to remember, people either got to like you or hate you. But if they're indifferent about you, then you failed. So this is about picking your corner, sticking to your corner, and then from that viewpoint, that's how you address the world. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor of branding, but this has worked for me over the years, and I hope I know it'll work for other people.
Hands to the camera if you recognize your brand is important. Excellent. Let's give Jason Centino a round of applause. This Friday at 11 a.m. in Dorina. If you can put on my calendar, I want to make sure that is available on the website too, under the events section. So we'll just take the little graphic and I'll make sure it's available on the website. Be the Bank now is available on the website. I have made a bunch of updates. Jason is running a great course. Fred Postmo, another great course. And then I'm working on Patrick Sullivan creating a course. So we'll let me jump over to Patrick real quick, and if we can get your piece of advice for everybody on building a business.
That's really good timing. I finally got back in my house 5 minutes ago.
I noticed.
I had to take my second COVID test of the week, and this morning was the only time I could get it scheduled. So, and if I didn't take that test, then I can't go to Maui. So it took precedence. Sorry.
That's right. You taking your girlfriend to Maui for $1,000. Not a bad vacation. Smart move.
So, but I had a bunch of things. Like I said, definitely like the focusing of things is really key, because if you try to do 5 things and see what pans out, then you never really put enough effort into any one of them. And once things become successful, you can delegate and get things going, and you have more time between them. But starting off, you really have to focus on one thing. And the one thing I noticed you didn't really say is, on top of focusing on the one thing, is you want to make sure everyone else knows what your one thing is, because everybody knows that I run sober housing stuff, and that's what I do, and the type of buildings that I want. And constantly, like in this chat right now, someone sent me a private message and said, hey, I've got this building. Right after I'm done with this call, I'm going to go drive down to Fall River and look at a building that another shiny head gentleman told me about. Yeah. So people call me constantly, say, I've got this place and I think it will work. Like last 3 buildings I bought, I didn't look for at all, because I just make a point to tell everybody what I do and what I want and how I can do it. And everybody finds them for me.
Let's give Patrick Sullivan a round of applause. Who's heard me say that before? All I do is say I'm from Fall River. I buy multis in Fall River. Send me the deals. Patrick's done the same thing with his sober housing. You have to uniquely pick a brand, like Jason was just talking about. Stick to a brand so that people can identify what you are, who you are. Melanie, you're not allowed to be anything other than the Subway queen. You buy Subways. It's what you do. It's what makes you all the money. Real estate's fun. Crypto's fun, but your business is Subways. It's boring. I know. She just wants to do different things. Let's see, Fred Posimo. And I know for everybody in the mastermind, yes, we are starting at 12. That means you're going to eat food very quickly, or just bring food to the mastermind. I have a taco sitting in the fridge, thank God, from yesterday. And so I will be chewing that as we get started. Fred, tell us a little bit about Tuesdays. What do you do there?
Dude, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm starving over here. I haven't eaten all morning, but this is worth every second of it. So here's the deal. So basically, I brought a whole bunch of friends into my Make Money and Have Fun mastermind, and now I'm hanging out with a whole bunch of new friends over here. Crazy how that works. So basically, in kind of the same fashion as what Jason does, and a lot of what we were talking about today is, oftentimes as entrepreneurs or investors, we tend to get like a shiny object syndrome, or we feel like we're misaligned in certain ways. If that resonates with you, if you agree with that, let's get a little hand to the camera going on. If you feel misaligned at times where you're working on something and it's not really fulfilling you, it might be making you money, but it's not completely fulfilling. So these are the people that I work with. So I created a course, or I guess a series, whatever you want to call it, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. called 52 Weeks to Financial Fulfillment. I'm not sure if that's going to stick. If you like that, give us some thumbs up in the chats. If not, I can always change it around. But financial fulfillment is this idea of being fully aligned.
I'm voting for lifestyle architecture. I'm just throwing it out there. You don't have to change it. I'm just saying it.
We're gonna have a suggestion box next week. So if everybody could put their suggestions in the chat box, and then we'll take a poll from in there to see what happens. But yeah, so it's financial fulfillment. It's living in alignment. It's creating the income that you want to create and the lifestyle that you want to create with it. And oftentimes that's just transitioning from your job to entrepreneurship, or it might be shifting your business or your entrepreneurship slightly. I've noticed that the smallest changes create the biggest results all the time. It's the craziest thing. So if you're interested in that, that's 6 p.m. every Tuesday. And I'm always competing. I'm very competitive. And I believe that I'm already a better speaker than Gwalter. So if you want to test that theory, come hang out with me on Tuesday. And we'll see. We'll see who the better speaker is actually at this point.
Let's give Fred Postmo a round of applause. I love a good challenge. I'm going to sign up for Doug's course just to sharpen up my skills.
Good luck.
Excellent. I appreciate each and every one of you seeing your dedication, seeing your success, seeing your texts, and thank you again for all the love, all the well wishes for my birthday. It means a lot to me. Bye, Mitch. Being able to hang out with you.
I'm stopping you. Can everyone give a round of applause to Galto Almarello, the birthday boy, for putting this all together?
And happy birthday, Walter.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mitch. Thank you to all the coaches. Thank you to each and every one of you. As Darina mentioned earlier, she knows, she said, well, are we still doing the 52 weeks on your birthday? And I told her, I was like, babe, it's the reason I'm here. It's the reason I'm alive. It's what I do. Like the 52 weeks is the only way I could celebrate my birthday. It's like, what about the mastermind? Should we cancel? Should we move it to another week? And I was like, again, it's what I do. I've always worked my birthday, but this is now I'm finally in alignment with who I am and what I want to be and what I want to do. So yes, we're doing the mastermind on my birthday. Of course. How else would I spend my birthday? So thank you. Yes, let's give Darina a round of applause for being so understanding. But yes, I'm finally in a place where I can help, where I can add value, where what I've accomplished means something, where, we're still doing big things and we're moving people with us now. Our goal inspires other people's goals. The coaches that we're able to help provide value. Who knows that every one of these coaches just wants to help. They just want to add value. They've built entire businesses around it. They earn money from helping people. It's in alignment with everything we're teaching in the 52 Weeks of Wealth. Hands to the camera if you would like to be a coach at some point. You'd like to build a program like this, something that adds value. Here's the deal. Write this down. One last tip, because this is what I do. And it's my birthday. I get to give away as much as I want. If you want to build a massive business, become a coach, become a teacher, become a trainer of men and women, because the only way to replace yourself is to teach someone else how to do it. Learn it and do it. You're all very great at that. You're all very great at learn it and do it, but delegate it, AKA teach it. That's the part that I want to inspire you to become great at. You don't ever have to be paid directly as a coach to be a great coach. You don't have to be paid directly as a teacher or a trainer to be a great teacher or a trainer, but you will have to become a coach, a trainer, a mentor, a teacher in order to build a corporation. Does that make sense? In order to get yourself out of the business, to build a business and replace yourself from your job, you will have to become a teacher. You will have to become a trainer. You will have to become a builder of millionaires. There's no getting around it. You will have to become a bigger person with these skills that we operate and use every day. Learn from the coaches more than they're teaching you. Do me a favor. Learn from the coaches more than they're just teaching you. Learn how they're teaching you. Learn what they're doing to inspire you. Learn what they're doing to move you. What they're doing is what you have to go do. Does that make sense? Think about this. In order to build a business that makes $1 million, you simply have to acquire 5 people who have 10 people under them. 5 people who have 10 people under them is enough to make $1 million, right? Just do the math. 5 people with 10 people under them. So imagine 5 people with 5 people who have 10 people under them is enough to make $10 million. Does that math make sense? You still only need 5 key relationships. You just have to inspire those 5 people to have 5 key relationships who have then 10 key relationships. Does that make sense? Training, teaching, educating is the key to wealth. Not doing. You learn it, do it, and then teach it. That's the most important part. And that's, if anybody on this call is still broke, it's because you have not learned process 3 effectively. Teaching and then they go somewhere else wasn't teaching. Teaching with inspiration is the key. They have to be inspired to stay with you. They have to be inspired and incentivized and motivated to stay with you. Your vision has to be big enough and have room for everybody. Hence the $1 billion REIT. The $1 billion REIT allows me to keep everybody involved, allows me a big enough avenue to keep everybody within the company and within the community. I'm looking forward to Sunday, tomorrow at 12 p.m. to present to you, to show you where we're going, what I see for 2021, and what I see for the next 10 years, the opportunities that are presenting themselves, where we plan on capitalizing, how we plan on investing and divesting. In order to become a REIT, Ron and I can't own the whole thing. One of the laws that the federal government has put in place is that no more than 5 owners can own, 5 owners can own no more than 50% of the company, which means minimum, he and I have to sell about 75% of the company in order to get to REIT status. But we're not silly. We're not selling it all in year 1. We're going to sell it as the company grows. We'll sell little pieces as it goes up in value. So we'll get more return on investment as we're selling. Hands to the camera if that makes sense. If you want to get rich, you build your business to sell your business. It has to be sellable. It has to be a business in order to get rich. You have to build something worth selling. I will see everybody on the mastermind call who's in the mastermind. And I will see each and every one of you throughout the week, throughout our training courses. I will be traveling next week. I will be celebrating and partying in Fall River in my hometown with my family and with my friends. I believe, Dorina, we have Alchemist networking on Wednesday. What time? If you're in Massachusetts or Rhode Island, you're in Fall River, you want to swing by?
It's around 6 o'clock.
Around 6 o'clock.
5:30 if you want to show up a little early.
Excellent.
And
then the destination event, when is that?
destination event is end of May. We actually have registration link ready to go. And I can drop it here. And thanks to Ron, he made it beautiful. And it looks awesome. So it's limited space, 10 people. And I already know who texted me earlier who was going to commit to show up. That's the link. And again, details will be available in about a week or two.
Excellent. That is for Mission of Millions. If you haven't quite figured out your $1 million business or multi-million-dollar business or billion-dollar business, and you don't know what to put your heart in, like what to put all your motivation behind, this is a destination event that will pull that out of you. It's modeled after something Dr. Terry Wager and Doug and I did with one of our coaches, where we went out and we discovered our purpose. I also did another training called Mission of Millions, which I stole the name from, and they can come ask for it if they want. But Mission of Millions was where I learned how to build a company that was in my passion and what I wanted. I was willing to accept the things that I wanted to be one day and line up the business towards that. So Mission of Millions is a powerful, powerful course. It is, yes, we will be in Orlando. We'll be in a tropical situation. We are renting our own house, like a big house with a pool and jacuzzi. And there'll be the opportunity to go out on the night with me. We'll go out on the town. And we'll also be doing a traveling event. But for the most part, this was a training experience for 3 days of deep, intensive training. And then 1 day of destination. So you will have the pictures to tell your family that went out and you had fun and you did this party. Maybe we'll go do Disney. We'll let Dorina decide that. But for 3 days, we're building you. We may have to tear you down a little bit. Is that okay? If we got to take apart some things to rebuild. So it is expensive for anybody who hasn't taken a vacation this year and really just wants to go out and party. But it is extremely affordable for somebody who just wants to build, who just wants to know what their mission of millions is and get a free vacation in the midst of it. Now, here's the problem with this. If you haven't set up your business, you can't use it as a tax write-off. But if you have set up your business, you can use this as education. This is a tax write-off 100%. Does that make sense? Flight, hotel, education, all of it is a tax write-off. You won't need a hotel because we're providing the housing. So it's I think it's a 10 room house. It's a big house, lots of beds. So it'll be a lot of fun. Reach out to Dorina if you want more information on it, want to learn how to finance it, want to learn how to get it done, more timeline. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you. This has been a fun process. Another year, 35, I think it's just the beginning. I plan to live to be 150. So it's the quarter of my lifetime. And I'm glad to be able to celebrate with you. This is the best birthday I have had to date. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Cheers to your success. We have a choice.
Always
work with the best. See you on the next one, guys and gals.